Good morning. Welcome to Ramblings with Joe. I have a new coffee flavor I'm trying today. Of course, it's from Eubora. It is called Brazil. I'm going to try and pronounce this. Minas Gerais. I'm sure that's completely wrong. Anyway, it has notes of pecans, almond, toffee, and butterscotch. I've had my first sip, and it's very good coffee. The butterscotch and nutty taste, the pecan and almonds, really, they really step out. I can really taste those. The toffee, not so much, but the definitely the two nuts and the butterscotch, I definitely can detect those notes, and it's very good coffee. Give it a try. Probably like it. I like it. It's a good thing I like it. I've got a hopper full of it to go through. I have this playlist, and I call it my sad ass playlist, and I have it on Apple Music. I'll share it in the comments. It started off as songs that I considered very sad, and every once in a while I get into this mood where I need to have some sad music. And yesterday I was thinking about it. It doesn't mean that I'm in a bad mood. It doesn't mean that I'm feeling sad. It really just means that I want to hear these sad songs. Maybe they remind me of a time in my life where things happened that were sad. I tend to look at things like that differently. I think I do. I try and steer myself away from being sad about historical events in my life, about things that have happened within my life that affect me personally. And the way I do that is I try to appreciate what came before the sad event. So, and some of these songs are just, I have a short list. There's over an hour and 10 minutes of sad songs. And I printed out just a short list of them. And some of them are absolutely heart-wrenching. I usually start off with Whiskey Lullaby, Brad Paisley, and, what is her name? I can't remember her name. I don't know why they don't list her name. She was in Union Railroad, I believe. Anyway, fantastic song. Very sad, very sad. That's almost always followed up with another very sad song. I'm going to stop saying that. Probably won't. George Jones, He Stopped Loving Her Today. That reminds me of my dad, who passed a long time ago. Mom's still around. He Stopped Loving Her Today that reminds me of my dad passing. And I accept that, and then I move, in my memories, I move beyond that to the point where he was around, and he was the glue that kept the family together, and it's wonderful memories of my father. He was a great dad. At that point, I usually reach up and hit shuffle, and I'll get any song that I've added to this list. Now, in addition to the songs that I've added to this list, I've reached out to my friends on Facebook and the friends that I know in real life, and I asked them for their saddest songs. And they came up with some whoppers. And a lot of these I've heard before, and I never thought about that much. Some of them caught me off guard. One of my friends, Adrian, he said, Puff the Magic Dragon. And I thought, how in the world could anybody think that that's a sad song? So I asked him, and he said, it reminds me that my kids are growing up. And I listened to the song, and the end of the song is absolutely sad. I'd encourage you to listen to it and pay attention to the lyrics. And that one caught me off guard. Some of them I'm not a big fan of. They stay on the list because a friend recommended them, and occasionally they'll catch me, and I'll enjoy them as well. Evanescence, hit and miss with her. My niece Paige recommended I Dream a Dream by Anne Hathaway. I think that came from one of her movies. And a childhood friend that I went to church with recommended Baby Plays Around, and I can't see the name of the artist. That one, I can see how it would be a sad song, but the tempo of it is a little bit, I don't know. I guess it's a sad song, but it definitely, it doesn't put me in that sad frame. Maybe because I'm not connected to it. Maybe she is. I don't know. Tears in Heaven by Eric Clapton. It's just, I didn't have that one on my list, and it absolutely, it's heart-wrenching, that one. And especially if you know the backstory to it. I would recommend anybody do a quick search. Figure out why Mr. Clapton wrote that one. But that's turned into one of my favorites too. And that's the short list that I printed out. I tried to print out all of them, but I'm not sure why it wouldn't. I'm not technologically savvy anymore. I used to be. Give me a chance. I might can again. Very good coffee. I'm going to enjoy this coffee very much. The more I drink it, the more I like it. So, I'm going to leave this playlist in the comments, and I'm hoping I can get some more songs from people that find it sad. Sad songs, that's what I'm looking for. And it's not because I'm morose or in a bad mood or I get sad. That's not how I look at music at all. The way I see music is it reminds me of a time in my life. And the sad times are almost always, followed, or the previous time before those are happy times. It's yin and yang. You can't really feel a whole lot of sadness if you don't experience joy prior to it. It's the ups and downs of life, and I try to concentrate on the ups. I hope everybody tries to concentrate on the ups. And sometimes, I'm not saying I don't ever get depressed. I certainly do, but when I'm depressed, I most definitely do not listen to my sad ass playlist. That would be a bad thing. When I'm feeling down, I try to adjust my attitude and change it, and this playlist would not do that. But the playlist does remind me of a sad moment in the previous time before it. Definitely reminds me of the good times. So, there's that. Yesterday there was a lot of in the podcast, and I'm trying to knock those out. I did a lot of editing on yesterday's podcast because of that, and I'm trying to avoid having to do that again. It's difficult for me because evidently I've gotten into the habit and I need to stop. This coffee is growing on me by the minute. So I'm going to leave this playlist. It's an Apple playlist, so if you don't have Apple Music, I'm not sure. I think you can see the playlist. I don't think you can listen to it through Apple Music unless you're a subscriber. But you can see the playlist and you'll get the general idea. You can also, maybe you can export it and listen to it if you have Google Music, or maybe you just have the songs, I don't know. Again, technology. I do enjoy Apple Music. I enjoy a lot of the Apple products. We've thought about dropping our subscription to Apple, but we have Apple TV, and I'll crank up the music and listen to the music on a fairly regular basis. It's very nice to hear the new music. I don't ever turn on the radio anymore. I mean the broadcast radio. It's just not, unless I'm interested in something to do with the news. It used to be I would listen to the radio for traffic. But with the new technology of Waze and now Google Maps, and I see that Apple Maps also gives you the traffic updates. I don't even turn the radio on for traffic either. Oh, this cat wants to tear up things. Well, thought I'd mention my sad ass playlist. That's literally what I call it. That's another thing. Evidently, Apple has a problem with my titles of some things. And I know sad ass is not a really good title, but it just fit the moment when I invented it. So that's what I called it, and that's what stuck. And occasionally I'll tell Apple to play it, and I say she because, you know, SIRI is a she. And it's an it, but it has a she voice. And it won't play. It'll say some random thing, and then it won't play the music, or it'll play some song with the word sad ass in it. But that's what I call it, and that's what it's going to stay. Let me know what you think let me know what your sad songs are. I want to add more to my list. Sometimes an hour and 10 or 20 minutes is not long enough for me to listen to sad songs. Anyway, if you hear me listening to sad songs, know this: I'm not depressed. I'm just listening to sad songs because they're bringing me good memories. And I hope that you can find good memories. And I hope you have a fantastic Friday. And I hope you have a great weekend. It rained here last night. I think it's going to rain again this weekend, but I don't care. I'm having a pretty good time in my life right now, and I hope that you are too. I hope you find peace, love, and dream. Until next time, ciao.